Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Workers Wednesday. This Workers of Resources. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're taking a look here at the progress made so far on Charlemagne's North, and it's coming together. There's still a lot of work to do, but it's starting to come together. We got some things we're working on also in the background, kind of that you can't see. It's probably more accurate to say we're working at it underground as opposed to the background. And we'll be sharing that with you as well today. And we're actually going to be spending a little bit of time underground today. But I'll just show it here, right? We got obviously all of our heat pipes and stuff that are going to be made. Here's our water layout. We got a couple of different wells right here, pumping in, going into pumps here. Feeds into this system, which then puts it out into several different reservoirs, which are then all pumped out into various different places to cover 98% right now of the buildings that we have currently placed. Why 98%? Well, because we're going to be developing something over here too, and then I'm going to place water over here. A couple of you have made comments that like I missed a couple buildings over here with the water system. It's okay. There will be coverage on those buildings. Don't worry. It's just I want them covering what's going to go here too. So it'll all work itself out. Okay. We got that going, and then also the power system is something that I've been working on as well. We got several different power lines and such. The interesting thing about how we've built out Charlemagne's North is that it's right between two main high voltage power sources, right? All the high voltage lines are right here, and all the high voltage lines are right here. And so we just feed it power from both directions. And the thing about that is that we're feeding it power that we're generating. We're also feeding it power that we're buying. And eventually we won't be buying. That'll be coming from nuclear, okay? If we ever get to it. Eventually that's how that will work. But for now, it's being fed partial from what we're generating and partial from what we're buying. And we are currently still exporting more power than we're buying, dollar for dollar wise, or I guess it's ruble for ruble wise. So basically think of it this way. There's a limitation to how many connections you can have in the routing for power. And so if you connect to this node and that node and that node, you get to all these different like switches and stuff, right? And eventually it stops serving power because you've hit the node limit on power distribution. I'm getting around that limitation by sending power to the grid and then buying it on this side. And as long as I send power, I think I forgot what my math was, like 20% more power send than I buy over here, then it ends up equaling out. Now that's not efficient, of course. It means I'm taking a little bit of a hit, but I have a limitation on it. The only way I could get around that right now is to hit this area right here and come off of this switch or, this whole arrangement here with a single like 12 megawatt underground high voltage wire and just bring it all the way over here underground. It's like 80,000 work days. And then connect to the switch over here on that side, or connect to a different switch somewhere, make a new switch, whatever. That would be the only way I can get around that node limit, because then it would be 1 and then 2, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way over here until you get to, I think it's 18, and then it stops, right? So that's how that's happening. So for in the future, right, we have nuclear, which will basically start with its first connection on its node will be like right here, and then 2 would be here, and then 3 would be like over here, and 4. And so at that point, we're definitely within the node limit, but we just need to get that set up first. And we will be working on that, by the way, before we work on the airport. The airport has this big reserved space, but we're going to be working on nuclear before we work on the airport. We just need to have a population that can actually work there, okay? And that's what this is. This is a population to complete our workforce gaps that we have in chemicals, in manufacturing over there, which we're getting kind of stalled out over here, actually. This is not building as fast as I would like it to. And it's because these guys ran out of gravel. And I got the distribution office sending them more gravel, and they can pick it up from here now instead of picking it up over here. So until this gravel, I mean, we're completely out. Like, we have processed. We're doing everything we can over there. And until we have a good source of gravel again, I'm not going to bother moving this stuff. It's working fine as is. So I'm not going to bother moving it over there yet. I was going to do that this video, but I think this video, I'd like to do something a bit more fun, something that is, I think, a little bit challenging, but I think the design that I have in my head, it will fit in the space that I've left for it. By the end of this video, we're at least going to have a start to our metro. Okay? A start. Obviously, everything takes forever to build, but you'll at least understand how the metro system will work, where the stops are going to be, and how we're going to have two completely separate loops operating on the same underground rails. And when I say separate loops, I don't mean a loop going to the left and a loop going to the right, and you have trains going in opposite directions on the same loop, right? No, I mean two completely separate loops with trains going to stops that other trains don't go to, etc. Don't even pass through. And that is a little tricky to do with the metro. You have to come above ground, but you have to do that anyway in realistic mode because that's the only way to build the metro. So we'll talk about that later on as well. The other thing I would like to have done by the end of this video, or I would really like this video actually to be the time in which we flip the switch, and that's Warstock. This town right here needs to be operational as well. Okay? So we're going to look to do the final touches here to turn this thing on too, and that involves power routing, which we are actively doing right now. That's why we got some flickering lights, but this line isn't done yet. We got lots of construction vehicles and buses and stuff coming in here for that. And then we've got this underground line right here, which needs completed. Is it done already? No. Okay. Right there. That one, I was like, there's no way. So that one right there is getting done slowly but surely too. All the helicopters are coming out to do that. So once this power is routed over here, then we'll be able to flip the switch on some of this stuff. Not everything. If we turn it on this month, or if we turn it on this year, it's not that big of a deal. We do have some completed housing. And again, I let buildings periodically complete just so that their maintenance cycles are, their restoration or reconstruction cycles are not all lined up. So, you know, we can have them little bits at a time. That's usually easier on your construction crews, I find. So I do let buildings periodically complete. We have now 3 buildings completed over there for people to work on. And everything else is just work days. So as soon as I flip this switch, obviously people will move in, but then they'll also go to these construction sites and finish the rest of the buildings too. Okay. A couple of things we do need to look at, right? We need to have a constant workforce over here to handle this. And I do regret putting this in right away. I kind of, again, want to just route it directly here. It'd be a lot easier if I just did that, put it into a switch here, and then just didn't just do that. But there's no switch to this, and I should have done that, but I didn't. We'll maybe take a look at that later if I need to. We are really low on money. We got to have something for sale, right? Very soon. I mean, this is crazy. What do we got? This is oil. And okay, we got mechanical components on the way. We've got more oil on the way. This is all to get dollars, though. We should have I mean, at least we should have vehicles, right? This one's stopped because there's not enough room in here. I need to widen the river. It's kind of silly. They don't keep right or anything like that. Like, you almost have to put buoys, but even then, it won't allow me to put enough buoys in here. Like, they're always going to clash if they run into each other on these little turns. So I just need to widen the river, which is a really hard thing to do in realistic mode. Like, it's unrealistic to widen the river, so might just have to put up with it for a little while. But this will get us some money. It already got us about 13 million on the last run. It's running a whole new set there, but I think it's bauxite. Like, we're importing from the Soviet bloc right now. Mechanical components, plastics. This stuff I think is just the like Zernovsky area. They're still going to the border when they need to. They don't have it, right? So they get the little bits that they need. And then obviously we're still importing power as well. But we should be... I mean, our exports looks like it's primarily right now power. Yeah, we're already 200,000 in hazardous waste, so we need to get that going too. Man, I'm running out of cash. I might have to take a loan. Oh no, I might have to take a loan, you guys. It'll I mean, it'll be fine. The game will let me borrow almost $1 billion at this point. I believe $1 billion is my credit limit. Loan rubles. Okay, so 3/4 billion is what it will allow me to borrow, up to that much if I want to. But remember, like, if we do run out of rubles completely, it's not a huge deal. We don't owe anything. It just means that our citizens are not going to get any resources from the border, but all of our survival resources are handled domestically anyway. It's mostly the luxury stuff, like electronics. So that it's not a huge deal if we run out of money, because I'm not really buying much from the border. Although I will say that it's a little depressing that all of my bauxite boats are over here waiting to fill up, and we have no money to give them for the fill up. It's crazy. Anyway. All right. We're, 10 minutes into this video? Let's get this done. So Warstock is going to be handled at the moment. We're going to spend some time over here in a second. But I wanted to show you also, right, this whole arrangement here is built, and it's kind of ready to go. And the rails are done too. So I've connected this stop to our aggregate station way over there so that it can bring coal here. And I realize that's a really inefficient place to go. Eventually, we will have our own coal set up over here. We just don't have it done. We don't have the people for it. All that stuff has to happen first. So we get the people. We have to, give them that temporary source of coal so that they can be operational. And then I will go ahead and build the coal thing, get that processing going. And then look, we have labor now to work that. And that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So it's a slow rollout over years. Unfortunately, that's just how this game works. And I want to also... These guys are... Like, they're parking here, but they have nowhere to go. Oh, can I not cross? You suck. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I want to go like this. Is this... I want do I need asphalt? Probably better to have it. We're going to cross here. Yep. And like that. But then also I want to get in here if I can too. Yep, like that. Oh, will you not let me? I thought for sure I'd be able to connect that. Is it just this building? Like the hitbox for the building just doesn't want to cooperate. Oh, really? No way. No way. Come on now. Don't be that way. There you go. There you go. And then we can just make like, I don't know, from there we'll make like a quick gravel one into here. I guess for now we'll just do this. That way they can work here. They can drive here and work here if they want to. We have the number of sellers there. We got food enclosed and electronics all delivered here. That's set up with the distribution office, so it's over there already. So we have a means of people surviving in this side. What we don't have is meat. Meat has to be delivered here separately. It gets actually delivered here. And that is done. We have meat here now. So we just need the distribution office to be operational. So why don't we buy, the risk of going bankrupt, why don't we buy a few covered hulls? Let's say, I don't know what capacity I'm looking for here. Why don't we try these little green ones? I think are kind of cool. I've been using these for maintenance vehicles. No, I've been using these. Well, it doesn't matter. I kind of don't want a vehicle that looks like the maintenance vehicle. So how about we try this? Yeah, these little blue ones here are kind of cool. We'll go 1, 2, 2 on that for now. And then we need a refrigeration truck as well. We are going to run out of money in a second. I think we are. We'll grab this. That's a really big one, but... the meat truck is going to be like its own route, though. We're not going to do that at the distribution office. So the meat truck needs to be purchased at a depot. Yeah, road vehicles depot right here. Let's get the meat truck purchased over here. Refrigeration. It's going to be the big one is probably the best way to go about this, I think. So we'll buy one of these as well. 4 million. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say... that the list of vehicles go to ships all... How full are you guys? Because you're all waiting for dollars. So some of you guys have like half a load. Some of you are nearly full. I want you to just go, man. Come back, drop it off at the Soviet countries, please. You're like all like sitting back here, not giving me my trade. And then we're about to get a ton of dollars, which will allow the rest of you guys to fill up. But and then again, there's a boat selling vehicles that got held up by that other boat. This one here, and that's gonna give us like 13 million, so we'll be fine there. It says 15, but the last time I sold, it looked like 13. It didn't actually, like, this is the value to buy this many, I think, but the value to sell it is a little lower. I think it's 13 million, so that's fine. All right, so we've got all of that going. We're going to have coal delivered here, like I said, but then we have the heating plant here. Now, I've positioned this heating plant strategically. There's actually a reason why it's in this specific spot. This specific spot is exactly 1,000 meters away from the heat exchanger right here that covers this entire area. It is also exactly 1,000 meters away from where the heat exchanger will go over here to cover the other area. So it's exactly 1,000 meters, and that means it is not going to require a pump. No heat pumps, no additional pumps, right? That's the complexity. It also, at the same time, is exactly one, okay, I don't want to say exactly. This one's like in the mid 900s, 950, 960 meters away from where I want the heat exchanger over on this side to provide heat to the little village and stuff and labor force and stuff that we're going to have over here. And so it's going to be a heat for all these things. It's basically going to be the single heat plant for all of this and all of this. And it needs to be positioned in such a way that it can reach all of them without requiring a heat pump. At least that was my requirement. So I'm going to go over to heat, and here's my 300 meter one. Let's go underground. And we need to get to the heat pump we need to get to that right there, that little spot right there next to the hospital. So we're going to say right here. And we're going to come all the way over and connect like that. Now it says it's too long because it's trying to do this, wraparound thing that it does. It's like, hey, we're going to just go on a right angle fest like that. Well, I don't know why it needs to do that. It makes no sense. So instead, we're going to bring it out here. This is 900, and you can see if I go underground, you can see it's kind of 950, 960. It's actually not exactly 1,000 meters, I guess. I'm not exactly right on that, but that's okay. We'll go right here. 912 is fine from there, which is a straight line. More straight. Right? Now we go into like that. Okay. And that's another thing that we need people to build. And we're spending a lot of money on foreign labor. Foreign labor for the Western countries, right? To get a lot of the stuff built with the helicopters. But Zernovsky's Rural Development Office has been coming over here to help, but it's mostly helicopters still because Zernovsky's just so far away. There's a lot of traffic going on. Okay, so that's what's happening with that. Let's talk about the metro, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to design the metro. But before we do that, let me just check these buildings really quick. I do want them to not complete. I stopped this one already at 1982 because I just, in my head, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be paying attention, so I don't know if I don't want it to complete. So I think what I'll do here is just go ahead and stop these now. It got, over 2,000 work days there. This one's 1,500. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and stop them, though, and that's going to free up the construction crews to work on something else, too. It's fine. I just don't want them to complete. Okay, so over on this side, we're going to have... Oh, we have a fire here. I didn't even know. How are we doing in putting it out, though? Not great. Is it only the helicopter? No one else is being told to go here right now? This is what I'm talking about, man. They got to send all of the people. Where's my fire department? How far away is that? I have 2 hospitals right here, but only... And police right here, but no fire here. I maybe should look at getting another fire department. The fire department is here. And it's doing absolute jack nothing. It's doing absolutely nothing. Manually send fire trucks to fire. Uh-huh. Fire trucks, go to fire. Like, why are you letting the helicopter do it all? It can't do it all. This thing's gonna burn down, and all of the coal with it. It's ridiculous to not send fire trucks to that fire. I guess it's just too far away, maybe. I gotta do something else with this intersection, don't I? This intersection is a pain in the ass. Because people want to turn left. Okay. Well, new plan for this. Why did they just... Like, this has never been a problem. And now they're just all of a sudden doing this? Did they all of a sudden choose to use this path instead? It's kind of wild. And yeah, they're despawning because they've been sitting there for a while, but... why would they all of a sudden choose to do that? Let's change this to a light. It's got to have to be. We're going to say... Well, first we're going to save the changes so I can see the proper permissions and stuff. Okay. So we've got 1 and 4. Yep, 1 and 4 will go. And this is going to have, I don't know, let's go 35 seconds on that. Then we're going to allow 2. Oh, and I think I want to add this one. I think I need to add this because otherwise these guys are going to go and get hung up here anyway. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be fine. You know, we'll give it a chance, see if it's fine. And then we want 2, right? We'll go right here, and 2 is allowed to go. Oh, maybe I should just force them to use the roundabout. You know, you have to turn right and then go around to go this way. And that might dissuade them from using this path because, like, to use this to turn left, I mean, go this way instead? I don't know. Like, maybe they're trying to get here and it's a little easier to do this. But we'll try to just... I guess I could dissuade them by just canceling that road. That would be one way to do it. Let's give them 15 seconds on this one and we'll hit go. And hopefully that will free things up just a little bit. These guys will still have to wait. But I think that light will help a little bit. Okay. All right, look at this. We finally have dollars. We finally started to sell oil and we have dollars that we can now spend right away to buy all the bauxite. Let's talk about the metro, finally. All right, so we have this bus stop right here. And this bus stop is here for a couple reasons. It's an end station, really, for buses that are going to be heading from this direction, buses that are going to the airport, and buses that are going into this area, which is going to end up being where we have our supply for building our ships. We're going to have our shipbuilding industry right here. Shipbuilding industry is not a heavy polluter at all. We just need all the raw resources. We make the boats, they go into the water, and they send themselves to the borders to sell. These ships and planes are the only two things you can manufacture that actually ship themselves to wherever they're going. So when you make cars, you have to haul them on, trains or boats or whatever. When you make trains, you also have to haul them on other vehicles to the border in order to sell them. So, but ships and stuff are fine. So we'll make the ships here and then they go off to the border themselves. When we make our planes later, that will happen over here in this area. They will be taking care of themselves too. So this area is kind of reserved for that. Okay. So all of what I'm going to do for the metro has to take place over here. And the reason why I'm going to have it take place here is because I want my metro lines to have 2 different loops. I want them to have a loop that takes people around to various different residential areas and work. And it's going to alternate. You're going to have residential to work area to residential to work area to residential to work area. And it's going to keep doing that with all these stops so that in both directions, a residential area, people get on, and then the next stop is a workplace where they can get off. And that is how the metro is designed. So let's start with our first stop, and we'll come back to this because you'll see this is a really tight fit, but I'm pretty sure it will work. So our metro starts here. This is like our ground zero for our metro beginning because we've already built it. And it goes off this direction. We're going to have it head this direction, and it will wrap itself around. There's going to be a stop in here. I haven't built it yet because I want it here, but it may have to be here. But I want it to be here, and I'm probably going to get rid of all these trees and just... I think I'll end up having it right here. The metro will come from this side and stop right here. And this is going to drop people off for chemicals and plastic production. It then whips around and stops here, which is definitely residential, but also the hospital, workplaces. It's very central to everything. These guys will be able to reach it. These guys will be able to reach it. Everybody who's in this area can reach it as a workplace or a pickup or whatever. All right, so that's going to happen. It then from here is going to head over this way. And I haven't decided if I'm going to stop right here or not, because technically this is a residential stop, but it's also kind of a workplace stop. So I'm kind of counting it as both. And I think I want another metro stop to be in here somewhere. Probably what I'll do is I'll put it right here. It's a pretty easy spot to stick this. And then the walking paths will just stick out over here so that all of these guys have access to the metro as well. From there, the metro heads over here and stops in this stop, which has been done forever. We're just not using it yet. But this is another stop where we will have people getting on and off. They will be able from this location to walk to both food, alcohol production, chemical production. They can also reach the fuel, oil manufacturing, or oil refinery, I guess is what it's called. And they can also reach clothing. So they can reach everything from that spot once we get all the walking paths done. Pretty good that way. Yeah, I like it. From there, it then comes down and there's a spot right here. It then comes down. Oh, wait, I have a metro stop here already. Oh, hang on. I didn't see this. I just started building this thinking I needed it, but maybe I don't. But this doesn't work for my plans as well. No, I think I want this one instead. Yeah, I think I'm going to cancel this one. Yeah, I want this one instead. I guess it depends on where the lines come in from here, but this is angled more appropriately for what I'm looking for. You're going to come around and then stick into here. And then from here, or here, but probably here, you're then going to wrap around and you're going to come out over here. All right? And the rail's going to head from this way. And now from here we have we're going to have 3 choices technically from this. We're going to have a 4-way intersection for our metro station, for our metro lines. And the reason for that is because I want metros to be able to come from this direction and also go directly that way. All right. I want them to also be able, if they're coming from this direction, to go to the airport and nuclear. Because I might allow the trains to go to nuclear too. If I'm already out that way with the metro, I might do it anyway. We'll see. But I want them to be able to do that from this way too. And that's 2 different directions. We also want metro lines to be properly spaced out so that the trains don't get run on top of each other. To properly do that, we need to use end stations. So this is also going to be a place where we need to get to an end station. Finally, in order to do this, and we need this for 2 reasons, we need the metro to be above ground. We can't have it be below ground, because in order to start building it, our track builders need to be able to get to the metro stations. They need to be able to get to the metro lines, and they can't just start underground. So you have to come above ground and connect to a depot so that our metro trains can be bought and hauled by conventional trains to the depot, and then from the depot they can then exit that depot and run their metro lines. Okay, so that's how that has to work. That's the reason why we're doing it this way. So what we're going to do here is a 4-way intersection, and we're going to start by figuring out where our end station is going to be. And I've designed it to kind of be right here, although I will say that the electrical lines that are pending construction here that no one's been doing for years, I think they're actually in the way, so it's a good thing they didn't do them. Because I think they're actually in the way. Okay. We're going to start, and this is all vanilla assets. We're not using mods for this. So we're going to say that we have a metro end station. We're going to use the above, or the ground level end station for this. And we're going to have this be right up against this bus. Right here. Like right up against this. I think as far over as we can go is probably for the best. So we'll say right about there is fine. And of course, we want everything to be connected with a road just so we can do maintenance and fire prevention and all that stuff. Okay. From there, we now need a depot or depot, depending on where you're from. We're going to use the standard vanilla train depot. Depot. Now I'm going to say depot. I'm converted, immediately converted. And we're going to want to place this where it's not going to be in the way. And I might actually flip this. Yeah, flip the road connection to be on this side, so it's not in the way for me later. And the trick here is going to be to figure out where this can be positioned so that the metro lines can go around it. It needs to be able to go around it. So we'll try here. I don't know if that's in the way or not. First, we have to verify that we can get it connected to the road. We should be able to. It's really finicky, but we should be able to get that connected to the road. Right. Come on. Almost. I saw it. Don't do this. Okay. Oh, wait. F4. Try that. No? You're going to be a jerk? Yeah, you're going to be a jerk to me. All right. Well, I guess the nodes are... I don't know. It's like between nodes or something. Well, it's fine. We'll move it. Whatever. I was pretty confident that would fit, but whatever. We'll go out about... Again, I have to kind of play around with positioning here because I need the rail... I need the metro lines to go around it. So it'll go right about here, probably. Can't see whether it's connected because of the pop-up. Try this. See how it will definitely connect to the road? But I don't want the... I don't want that to be an asphalt road. I just don't want them to... I don't want them to wait to build it. They're going to wait to build it if I leave that as an asphalt road. Right? There. Okay. That's connected. Now, question is, can we get the metro lines around it? So what we need for this is metro tracks. That's right here. Metro railway. And I want to have this go right up against the highway. Right? It needs to be like really close to the highway and then connect here. That's fine with me. And then from here, we need to come out and then hopefully this doesn't conflict. Okay, we're good. So it goes in through there like that. Okay. So train depot, depot, and then we have the end station. The depot is going to go directly into the end station on that side. All right. That's going to help us deliver trains. If there's any reason, and I'm hoping there isn't, but if there's any reason at all for us to have to remove metro trains, we'll also want this connection. So I'm just going to make it anyway. Okay. Now, metro end station, the ground level thing, this has to be the correct direction, and I'm not sure whether or not this is facing the right way. Did it tell me when I placed this? Because metros are very specific. You have to place them in the right direction. It looks like they're not really specific on the placement. The arrows don't have anything specific that they're saying. The underground one does. You see how the icons are different and how the train's going in? So we have to be, when you're underground with the metro lines, they are one direction only. The trains will not go the opposite direction. And that's what makes metro just a little bit more complicated than standard trains. But it looks to me like, not the depot, it looks to me like the metro ground level end station doesn't have that because it's above ground, but I don't know if that still means, no, it's fine. We're going to let it go. Okay. So we've got this heading in that way. It's not quite as smooth as I'd like, and I might alter that a little bit. But let's head over here. Now we know a metro line is going to be from that side and it's coming this way. We want that to also get into this intersection. So we're going to grab our metro tunnels. And we're going to try to find out how to line this up to where it's right when I want to do it, autosave. Come on now. We want to do this to where it doesn't go over top of the road. So I want to find that perfect spot where I can get just... It's probably good enough there. Okay. We're going to come down. And about like this is fine. And then we're going to want to go ahead and make a second one like that. So that's where these guys are coming into this intersection. All right. Now from the airport or nuclear or whatever, right? From that direction, we're going to want to come over here, and I'm going to have this as close, I think right about there, yeah, as close to this depot as I can go, because it's going to enable me, there we go, to have the most space possible when making this intersection. So the depot is here, but the tunnel going in for the metro is right there. All right. Now we need to switch to an above ground metro track to continue making that. And it's going to come out about that far, probably maybe a little further, but we have to see how the other one goes too. Now here's the one I'm a little bit the most nervous about. And that is the tunnel that's going from this side. I'm pretty sure it will work, but you got to be really precise with where you put it in order for it to work. So it's a very tight fit. What we want from this is the metro tunnel to actually be here. And then the above ground metro lines are going across this. Okay? This is a tunnel underneath the ground, right? So you can't put it here. And there's also underground wires right here. So I can't put it too far forward because it'll conflict. So it has to be in the perfect spot to where it doesn't conflict with these. And it also is, you know, not going to conflict with the roads and stuff either. Okay? So that's the goal here. So we're going to say that the metro tunnel starts. I'm going to try it. Let's say, let's try it like right about here. And we'll see if it allows me to, no, it's going to say that the lines are in the way. Okay. So we need to scoot back just a little bit more. Scoot back. This one should be fine. No? Yep. There it goes. Okay. This one's fine. So now the hard part is because there's other tunnels here, we need to position this between these tunnels so that it will let me make them exactly where they need to be. So right about, let's say here, it's where one will go. And then the second one needs to be exactly next to that. There we go. And that allows this metro to kick out right here. And it's not conflicting with this at all. We've got that road right there that connects this is perfect. All right. We could have connected it on this side anyway, but it was mostly this one lane road that I was trying to miss. And then we, of course, have the above ground metro rails heading this direction to connect with our intersection on this side. So we now have the 4 directions that this thing needs to travel. So the tough part now is kind of over, but the tough part now is getting this whole thing to be an intersection. So we're going to say that you go out that way, and then you hook up there. Okay. And then this side, we're kind of riding right along this highway as long as possible to keep max distance before we curve. And we go in somewhat of a perpendicular. We don't need to make an exact 90-degree angle, but as close as possible will help us in connecting it. Here we go. And we'll come out and like that. Okay, let's get rid of all the extras. All right. Looks pretty good so far. So now we just connect it with the standard connections that we've done in the past. And we need to make sure also that we can connect in all directions, because I want to make sure that any train that we do, although if I'm really thinking ahead, and I'm not, clearly, not thinking that much ahead anyway, I would say, well, only trains from a certain direction really need to use the end station, or I would say that the end station is only used in a certain direction. But that's not going to be true. Every direction we go, there needs to be an opposite to that as well. Because trains only travel one direction. If you're looping in this direction, you know, I guess you could do that, but you're only going to get one train. If you want to be most efficient with it and timings, you can also go the exact opposite direction in that loop. And that's what I'm thinking of, is like, yes, people, you know, the metro train coming from this way will use the end station. Okay, cool. What about the trains that are the opposite direction in that loop? Well, they would probably be coming from this side, right? Okay, what about the airport trains? Okay, well, they're probably coming from this side. Or the tourist trains. There's going to be a stop for tourists too, I've decided. So another stop right here. And so they're going to be coming from the airport side as well. So to just kind of be immune to those types of things, I want, yeah, this thing here needs to be just a little bit more. Let's actually try not curving this. Let's just go straight with it. Oh no. Oh no. I went too far. Okay. Well, we'll do it again. It's not like I can't do it again. Right against that highway. And then it'll be fine there. It's as long as it goes past the depot. It's gotta make it past there. Pretty close, but it's gonna work. Okay. Now if we go up quickly, or if we go up just a little bit quicker, we should have more room. But it's also hard because this is curving right here. So maybe what we'll do instead, I'll try this. Let's go right at the point where you stop curving. Maybe even we just curve it quicker. I could do that. Just make this part a little bit longer. A little bit longer now. Okay, went too far. And there we go. So just a little bit sharper of a turn, but I think it'll help us with that intersection just a little bit more. All right, so instead of whoops, I need to be careful here because there's a rail underneath the ground. Yeah, so I want to go right here. Yep. Make sure I'm not deleting that. All right, we're going to go straight on this instead. Instead of, giving that little curve. And then again, we want to come out as long as we can before we turn over. Here we go. Okay. And it's okay if the metro trains have to slow down in order to go to the depot. They're going to the depot anyway. They're going to the end station anyway. They're going to stop. It doesn't matter if they slow down to get in there. Oh my goodness. Would you please just turn? Okay. Maybe we need to give a little bit more. You know what? This might be easier if I go at an angle. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, here's how I'm going to play this. Not like that. Here's how I'm going to play this. We're going to pull this back. And, come on. Actually, let's just pull it back all the way. We're going to pull this back. And instead of doing it like that, all right, we're going to come out just a little bit. And I'm going to go directly there. So I have the angle that's required. Okay. So we know which angle is required in order to make this happen. Which apparently is... Jeez. I get it. You're a train. You just don't want to cooperate. I understand. Come on now. Is that close enough for me? No, it's not. Oh my god. Delete, please. No. Oh, it's this. It's this. Wrong tool. There we go. All right, new plan. We're ditching all of this for now. The little bits there. We're going to instead do this. Like that. Okay? That gets me... It gets me connected. All right, now from this point, I just got to choose which direction is straight for me. So right about here looks straight. Oh, right there. Yep, that looks pretty straight to me. So we'll go out that way and that way. And then connect on that side. Let's make that a little more curvy. There we go. Okay, we've got that. It's on. Now, same thing here. Choose where in the track is it straight. So right about here. So we'll go that way. From there to there. Seems good, man. And then we'll connect you on this side like that. And then you like that. Now we have the hardest part, which is this connection. We got that done. These connections are all much easier compared to that one. So from this side, we'll go like this. All right, autosave. You and me in the parking lot. 10 minutes. I mean, it's saved my ass so many times. I should probably just forgive it, right? We'll see. From here, we go out, connect there. and there. Okay. And then finally, the easier one is also here and here. O-M frickin' G. Don't you dare. Good enough. No, it's not. It's really not. Thank you. Why don't you just do that in the beginning? All right, there is our metro crossing. And now metro, because of this, metro trains will be able to go this way and choose whether they're going that direction or that direction. And I can have multiple different routes going in multiple different loops, but still sharing the same tracks and still sharing the same end systems and all that stuff, and being able to actually deliver these trains to the depot and have them on both loops. Speaking of delivering trains, you got to get the train into here. So, and you can't cross a metro track. Metro tracks are unique, special butterflies, okay? You can't cross the roads. They don't cross roads. They don't cross other tracks. They only interact with other metro tracks. So you can't, for example, come across the highway. Now, you can go above it. You can go below it. But remember, there's no intersections possible unless you're at ground level. It's the same rules that have applied to all of our roads so far. You cannot make an intersection underground, sadly. Otherwise, this would have been way easier. So we need to get the trains in here. And I'm thinking good old-fashioned bridge is what I'm thinking. So we go up. Maybe we could... Here. Can we go up? Can we go up fast enough? I may not be able to go up fast enough here. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yikes. Okay, this will technically go in, but it's ugly. Can we please? Please? Pretty please? No? All right, let's try it from this side. So from this side, we're going to have the rail. We're going to come out about... I think we'll just have it be like right here. Yeah, about like that. Okay. And this can go a little bit further, I guess. And then this also connects like that. So it's only one track, because there's really no reason I will ever have multiple trains bringing metro trains into this stop. I don't see that happening. So we need this to come up. 1, 2. Let's do this. Yep. 1, 2, 3. And it needs to come up like this. Yep. That's fine with me. Now it's above this. 1, 2. Okay. And I'm hoping happens here. Man, you are just so... You're all about these nodes and connecting to ones that you have no business connecting to. Yeah, right here. That's fine. And then from here, we're going to want to dip. Oop, hang on. I'm going a little bit too curvy there, aren't I? Okay, let's pull that back. 1, 2, right here. 2. You are being annoying, aren't you? You know what? Why don't we just cross this? Since we're able to, I could pull this back just a little bit more. Just a hair is probably all I need, really. Yep, right there. Okay, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out a little wider with this bridge. And then... Wow, you are just... I'm going to donate you to... Seriously, donate you... Like, I don't have snapping on. It's off. But it still does it. It's been doing that to me lately. I think it's the latest update. It's been really snappy to other nodes, even when you have snapping off. Okay, I got it. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but I did it. Maybe I could make it slightly more pretty. Is it worth it? I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. Let's make it just a little bit more curvy. There we go. Okay. So that's how we're going to deliver these trains. All right. The metro trains will get delivered by coming from that side, from the border, right? It can come from this side too. If we're heading it from, maybe we're buying it from the west and we're bringing the metro trains in on boats and we're picking them up over here. It doesn't matter. We're picking this spot because this spot offers flexibility and I can do whatever the hell I want. So it comes through here, gets delivered here. Metro train will then come out. And what we're going to do is all of our routes that we do with the metro trains, the first point in their route is the end station. That way they're incorporating it into their routes just like any other, but instead of having it be the end of their route, they're at the beginning. And so they'll come out of here, they start at the end station, and then they come out of whichever one is appropriate, which in this case will be this side, and then off they go. And then when they're returning in part of their route, they're coming in on this track, and they're good. And the only time there will ever be a conflict in this area is when, like, we're sending a new train in and there's one coming this way, and I don't think it will matter. Metro trains are also quite short, typically, so we don't need to really worry about, signals being too far away and close or whatever. It should be easy to do that, especially since as soon as you go underground, there's no intersections at all, right? You can't make them. So the whole thing, in this case, which is kind of the opposite of our other trains, the whole thing is conflict free, except for right here, where all these metro trains are going to come in, and they're mostly just about timing at that point. This is the only time that they'll ever stop in their route. Okay. So given that this is in, all we need now, right, is that. We submit. Now, underneath this, we do have to make sure this will connect, actually. I'm pretty sure it will. And that's the only reason why I was so confident in connecting that. I'm pretty sure this will connect, but we'll just see. You're going to come around wide, real wide, about like that. And then you're also going to come around wide, right? And we're going to get you snapped to where you're, there you go, about like that. Going around, and then you connect to this, okay? So right here, come around and you connect like that. There we go. And then you, same diff, connecting there. There you go. The metro is gonna start construction now. Seems pretty good, man. Yeah. Now, some of you might wonder, like, why not, instead of having this, why not just have off the end station, you can go out the other direction too. And it's because I don't want trains, and in fact, I don't believe they can. I mean, maybe they can. Maybe it's just called an end station for no reason. But I don't want trains to have to go through the end station as a part of their route without stopping here. So, for example, if the metro is picking up somebody from the airport, I don't want those people to have to wait at the end station to get dropped off at tourism, or to get dropped off over here. I don't want this to be a part of the route. I want this to be something that they kind of deviate off their normal plan and use it that way. They're going to take a stop here as opposed to, something they have to stop on their way to somewhere else. This is the destination, not a path through it, if that makes sense. I'm really concerned about this. I'm going to lose all my freaking coal. How did you guys not send... honestly, if I hadn't done this... Yeah, if I hadn't sent these firefighters manually, this thing was toast. I don't know what the hell this game does sometimes, but it refuses. Obviously, reconstruction needs to begin immediately. That's a huge building and a lot of coal to lose. Please drop the water now. Please drop the water now. Without these firefighters showing up, that fire burns this building down. That's insane. Yes, please start construction immediately. Start reconstruction. Absolutely. Right there. I want everybody. High priority, please. Now. Everyone goes to this. All of you. Yep. Everybody. Right there. Come out here and fix that stupid thing. This shows me, though, that I have a need for another fire department. Definitely need another fire department. If nothing else, a small one that just has some trucks that'll respond. Right? But I mean, we might as well... I don't know. Do we need an actual full-on fire department here? Maybe. Will anybody even be able to walk here to work? I guess there's some houses right here. Like these guys could, I guess. Yeah, all right. If we put it over here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where I put it, I guess. I kind of wanted to leave this open for more orphanages. So I'll put it... And we got this walking path right there anyway, so maybe we'll just put it like here. You know? Right here. Then how do I get helicopters attached to it? Do I even want helicopters attached to it? I mean, do we... I don't think we need it, but then again, it's one of those questions where it's like, why not? Why not put a helicopter pad on this, right? We could do it right there. It'll fit. Yep. We could do it right there. It might even look like a police helicopter. It'll do that. And then the walking path for now, we'll just go like that. Or not. Excuse me. Okay. We'll just do that for now. And that way they can get to building it. And then once this is done and, you know, everybody's through that, then we can pave this too. But, all right. A new fire department. Apparently we need it. So we'll go ahead and do it. And then that way it can react to this. Ugh. That's crazy. I don't know if helicopters don't engage with reconstruction, which they have enough to do anyway, so that's why they don't engage with reconstruction. I like following these guys, though. It's so cool following these things. They're dropping off a roller for a road way off in the distance. Sometimes I just enjoy watching a flyover, too. Like, you can just observe all the vastness of our crops as they're growing, right? All the farmland that's over there. And then when you get really close to a town, you think, hey, this is a pretty big town. But when you see it from a distance, it's like, oh, that's a really tiny little patch of land over there. I especially like the approach on like sunset, where the water changes colors with the light being refracted over the atmosphere like that. It's great. Or double sun. It's great. There we go. Huh? We got some consistency in the lights over here now. All right, they're not all flickering. All right, it's going to take a little bit of time to still get it up. We don't have the high voltage lines coming in here yet, but I mean, it's not bad. We're going to turn it on today, all right? I know this video is probably dragging on a bit here, but we're going to turn it on today. I might have to wait a year. I'll be honest, I might have to wait a year because getting the electrical for this is important. Obviously, we have to build this for the winter, and this isn't even started yet, right? So, I mean, it's actually probably going to be next year. It's probably a 2021 activation, but I still want it to be this video is what I mean, all right? So let me let this go a little bit further here. We have additional construction happening, and a lot of these buildings are getting done. Look at this hospital. It's done. Holy crap, they finished the hospital. Look at it. Look at this in all of its majesty. This is... I want to get right down there. Can I get right on the ground? Hold on. Right. I thought you were a vehicle. I thought you were a vehicle. You're just a shadow on the trees. Oh, man. I can't get low enough. I want to have more freeform control of the camera. You know? But look at this. It's such a tall hospital, man. I mean, it's huge. It's so big. Like, there's the police department. I always thought these were big for a police department, but like it looks like a tiny house compared to that thing. Look at this. This is the, you know, the museum or whatever, right? The Palace of Communism right here, right? Big old tall Palace of Communists, right? At least you thought it was tall. But now the hospital's taller than this. Barely. It is there. And then also, look, on the top, we got the... well, we're supposed to have helipads on the top. I thought, anyway, there was helipads on the top. And maybe that's what this is. It just doesn't show. I thought that's what this was. But remember, we need people to work here all the time. It looks like we do have staff here, which is odd. Oh, right. They're driving in. Right. Well, we don't need them to drive in here. So we're going to go ahead and do that because there's no power supply here anyway. So don't work here. Yep. Secret police building is done too. Technical university's done. Oh, looks like we have technology. Synthetic fibers or synthetic fertilizer isn't done. I mean, I've just been like ignoring technology because we have everything we need.